Hey, it's Yuri from the Straight Pipes here. My kid is now 3 years old, so I'm going to be testing some more car seats. This is the one for her, the Poplar convertible ClickTight, rear and front facing. Then I've got my cousin and her 2 kids visiting from Ukraine for the first time, 4-year-old and an 8-year-old. So we've got the Hardness 2 booster with ClickTight and the Highpoint 2-stage belt position booster, which we're going to test out in a Honda Odyssey Minivan to see all 3 of them fitting at once. I'm going to show you how I install them all. I did it on Instagram. Each car seat I installed in under a minute. So check that out at Yuri Tertian if you want to see that, but this is going to be the longer, more in-depth version. And then I tried to install all 3 of them into my Mazda CX-5, which is the 2-row SUV, but I could not fit all 3 next to each other. And before I dig into all the seats, I found that I really love the Britax Canada website, how it shows the size of the kid in the seat that you're looking at right on each page. And I think that makes it really clear to know which one you should be looking for. So let's start it off with what they are, how they all work, starting with the Poplar. It's kind of like the Advocate ClickTight, which I have, Jacob has, it works really well. This one seems to have a couple upgrades, namely, let's move these over. I can actually tighten the straps easier and loosen it easier than the Advocate. The Advocate had a thing you had to put your finger in to loosen the straps, which was a lot more difficult, I found. This one is so much easier. And then pulling the strap, you don't have to pull as hard, which is nice. This one also has this reinforcement bar for rear facing, and I feel like it locks in a little easier as well. And then on top of that, this is built for kids to stay rear facing longer. So I think with this one, you can stay rear facing up to 50 pounds, it says on the US website. I think Canada still says 40 because both rating systems for the countries are different, even though it's the same seat. And then rated up to 49 inches tall, which is good. My kid at 3 years old is 35 pounds and 40.5 inches. So we have a lot of growing to go rear facing. And another cool thing about this is if you pop these little things up here, we have a slot for cup holders, which the Britax Advocate did not have. Then the ClickTight on this one is positioned slightly differently. It is, you take these little elastic things off here, and then you have access to the ClickTight thing right here, and then it's got your rear belt path, your front forward belt path, everything's labeled really nicely. We got French on one side, English on the other side, and all the instructions to make sure that they are all in there lined up correctly and set up correctly, because you want your kid safe in your seat. And then, you know, we got a lot of adjustment, a lot of angle tilt. Then if you're doing front facing, we have this V-tether on the back, which has slow release stitches and stuff like that too, which is really cool. Then this one also has a safe cell crumple zone at the bottom, which is similar to the Advocate. Flame retardant, safe wash fabrics with no FR chemicals. It's got a carbon steel frame and a space saver design, which is only 17 inches wide. So I think it showed on some of the websites that you can fit 3 wide on captain's chairs. And if you want to skip ahead to the install of this, check the chapters below, but I'm going to go over all the seats first before I show you installing them in the Honda Odyssey, which worked out perfectly and all the kids were super happy sitting in it. Next up, we've got the Hardness 2 booster. So pretty much what it says, it's got the harness, but then if the kid gets bigger, you can also rock it as a booster and run the seatbelts through here and through the slot right up here. So for the harness mode, you can go up to 49 inches tall and 65 pounds. And for the belt booster mode, you can go to 44 inches to 63 inches tall and then 40 to 120 pounds. So this one has some adjustment. If this doesn't fit your car perfectly, you can pull up this red thing here, and then you've got some recline to it. And then our ClickTight is not in the base. It is located right here. If you lift this up, then we got these 2 things to click here, and then this base pops up, and then you string it through here. I'll show you the install thing after all this. You can skip ahead for the chapters to that, but it's super easy. You can also adjust this crotch strap right here, which is really good. It's got 2 cup holders and snack trays, and then this can adjust pretty high too. And this one also has crumple zones at the back. It can come with safe wash and has an energy absorbent chest pad along with a V-shaped tether at the back that has slow release stitches. And this was my first time using the tether because my kid is rear facing, so this was with someone else's kid, and setting it up with that was actually really easy. It was nice. So if you want to see the install to that, skip ahead, chapters below. Time for the Highpoint 2-stage belt-positioned booster. All right, this one's nice and lightweight because it is a booster seat. So look, what happens is we've got these red things here. The seat belt goes through there, loops under here, and then into here, and it is just a booster seat with more padding and stuff. And then what you could also do is pop the back off and just use this as a booster seat with no back. So this is for kids up to 63 inches tall and 40 to 120 pounds. It's got 3 layers of side impact when you have the back on, and then it's got these cool clips at the back for setting up to the, and I always forget what this thing is called. I said UAS, but it's not UAS, it's something else. ISOFIX. So you can clip that into the ISOFIX, and then you've got this here to loosen it and then tighten it so that your booster seat is nice and tight in there. It's got 2 removable cup holders, and I think the cup holders are dishwasher safe. And look how high this thing goes. So if your kid's super tall, you still have head protection for them. And obviously, like all the other seats, shows you instructions on the side and stuff. This one doesn't have a rear top tether because it is just a booster seat, but super easy to install and set up and take in and out of a car. So on to the installation stuff. All right, first things up, we're going to install the Poplar convertible car seat so it can go front facing or rear facing. Rear facing is blue, so that's what we're going to be doing. It is ClickTight, so the ClickTight mechanism now, instead of being that red dial like on the Advocate that I use, you pull these 2 straps up and it's all right here. So we just click and it lifts it up. We can see where our belt path goes, and then for rear facing we have this bar, which just like the Advocate goes here, but this clicks in a lot nicer, I think. And then we will set it up for rear facing. Make sure the strap is up here and not down here, because then once it's tight you'll have to undo it to get it out. We can adjust the angle using this right here, so to see where they would fit. And then here we can see green is for forward facing, blue is for rear facing, and black is not acceptable. So let's put it like that, I guess. Push it up against, pull this part of the seat up, and let's get our belt out. Oops, we don't want to have it tighten yet. And then run it through the rear facing part here. Make sure there's no kinks in it. And then run it through this rear facing right here. Find the seat belt receptacle and plug it in. Clip it in. Okay, and then tighten it. Get all the slack out. You don't want the base to be able to move more than 1 inch when you push it like that from down there. Let's get this out of the way here, because that's to tighten and loosen it. And we will clamp it down. And once it's clamped, this is how you loosen your belts, but that's very easy to find. So we get on it and there, clicked in. So if we give it a little wiggle, no movement, 1 inch. No, not even like less than 1 inch from the, we got even less than 1 inch of movement at the base. And as you can see, we are in the blue zone for rear facing, so that's good. And this bar is nice and pressed up against there. We'll take these little elastic things and have it go right over there. And then we adjust our headrest to the position so that our child's head is like right here. And if you forget that stuff, we have a whole bunch of great instructions right here so we can get that all figured out. And what I like about this one is the shoulder straps are now attached with another strap to the seat so they don't get lost as easily. And these straps here, when you pull this up, I feel like it tightens them with a lot less effort, which is amazing. And then to loosen it, the old one had a red button that you'd push in and then you'd pull this. You just reach your hand in and flick up that metal tab that we looked at earlier, and it loosens up. We flick up that metal tab. Can I see it? No, it's in there. You flick up that metal tab and it loosens very, very easily. So there's the first seat installed. Now let's get the next ones in there. Oh, you know what? I forgot to pull this all the way. There we go. All right, the next one is the harness to booster with ClickTight. So the way this one works, it has a harness, but you can also use it as a booster seat with the seatbelt going through the red stuff. And it has ClickTight, which means we can lock it in using our seatbelt. And since it's front facing, we do have one of these straps. So let's start this off by getting the strap in there. And then we'll lock that into the rear strap thing, and then we'll do the ClickTight. All right, it's a Honda Odyssey, so we can fold that down to get out, or we can remove that completely. Okay, let's click that in. Perfect, we'll tighten that at the very end. Okay, now to get to the ClickTight portion, we lift this back up and pull this down, and then we see our ClickTight things right there that we click in, and this top comes up. Then what we'll do is we'll string the belt through these green loops right there. So grab our seat belt, and then right through here, I guess. Yeah, like that. So it'll be like that. And we bring that around to this side. Hope you guys like this POV in an actual car, real world scenario. Find the belt and click that in. And there you go. Oh, you know what? I forgot to pull this all the way. There we go. Okay. And once we have that nice and tight, we will push down this base to activate the ClickTight. There. Now it's clicked in tight. Pretty much no movement at the base. We can pull this to keep that nice and tight. And then we just have our harness here that we adjust for the size of the child. Similar to that, but front facing. We can also move this belt up there. To tighten it, we pull on this. And these things are attached through here so they stay near the top. And then just like, oops, I forgot to clip that in. Just like that Poplar, if you put your fingers right, where is it? It's here, okay. So here, this is the thing to loosen the belt. So when this is closed, you put your finger there and you pull up or down, and it pulls it out. So that's nice and convenient as well. And we got cup holders, armrests, and we can adjust this to the height. And I believe this has 2 recline positions. And again, instructions all on the side, and it tells you what not to do. Yeah, our recline is right here, but I believe we're in the right position. This looks like it's held up against everything pretty well. And now I'm going to head to the back and tighten down our V-strap. Now I should just move this thing right out. How do I do that? I think this. Shout out Honda Odyssey for letting me remove this. There we go. And get all the slack out of this and tighten it. And I can roll up the excess, or I can just tuck it in there. Another cool thing about this Honda Odyssey, you can pull this up and slide this seat so these kids are next to each other, or if you're a parent, you can sit next to your kid there and still be in a captain's chair. All right, now the third seat, the Britax Highpoint 2-stage booster. So this can be a booster seat or it can be a backless booster. If we pop this back. All right, so let's put this one over on this far side here. This one has the UAS or whatever locks they're called. So you can put these right into here so it'll stay stable, and it'll work the same if you don't have this back as well, but the back is cool because, you know, then it goes around their shoulders and stuff better, and you can really raise the height super high. So first thing we're going to do, push in this button and pull out the slack, and we're going to take these, click them in on one side, click it in on the other. And since this is like a back booster, it doesn't have one of the V-straps at the bottom, and then you're not supposed to have a headrest in the way. So good luck, this is gonna not be a flush fit here. So what we're gonna do is pull this headrest. All right, so we have these clipped in here. Let's see how tight we can get this. I'm not even sure how tight you're supposed to make it, because I'm sure once the seatbelt's on, that keeps most of it in place. So let's line, I guess, that up with the hole that it's lined up with. This one. And let's pull on this some more. Yeah, like it's not, that's pretty in there, but it does have some wiggle. Then we take our shoulder strap, and then we're going to have to bring it in around this thing here, and then we'll toss the kit in there, and then we will clip this in, make sure it goes through the red, and this right there as well. That's how the kid will sit, and we'll adjust this so that their head is right there. And that's how we've got the Highpoint. All right, so those are all three seats. I'm excited for my child to grow and eventually go from this to this to this. I'm gonna keep it in the Britax family because I love ClickTight, and it's like the easiest thing ever to install and pull in and out of different cars. Like, I've got a minivan, the Honda Odyssey right now, and I've been using that to shuttle the kids and family around. And when I'm not using that, I have the seats set up in my stepdad's car, and popping them in and out has been super easy. I've had like nightmare stories of friends popping in and out of other seats and like just taking forever to get the seat tight, so that's great. Then as for pricing, when I checked it out on the websites, the Poplar was $449 Canadian and $299 US, brought down on sale to $239 US at the time. And then the Harness 2 Booster with ClickTight is $449 on the Canadian website and $299 on the US website, but I think you can increase that price a bit with some fancy fabrics, get it up to $369 US with some cool like fancy brown leather. I guess if you got like a Lamborghini Urus or something, then that's probably the seat for you. And the Highpoint 2-stage belt positioning booster is $229 Canadian on the website, or $199 US on sale at the time of filming to $159 US. So let me know what you think of these car seats. Which one of these is your favorite? Are you skipping from this one right to this one, or this one to this one to this one? or I guess you can go this one to this one and then just not use the harness. Either way, really love all the ClickTight Britax stuff. Thanks Britax for sending this stuff so I could test out and use it with my family so they're all safe while I'm driving around and showing them the country. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. Hope everyone's doing well out there.